Jurgen, how have your preparations been so far? We've had bad weather today, flight delay yesterday. Has it been disrupted for you? Has it been okay?
It's okay. Pre-season is like pre-season is, so it's never perfect. But it's actually like a season, so you have to make the best of it constantly. And the bigger the club is, the more things you have to do. That's how it is. When I started as a manager, I had a full pre-season with 6 weeks only training. Nobody asked us for a photo, so we could be completely concentrated on the training. That's cool, but that's long ago, and so we take it like it is. Yes, of course, yesterday the flight, it was quite an interesting challenge, but 8 hours in a plane. But I have been in a lot worse planes in my life, so it was quite comfortable, and people brought ice cream and pizza and stuff like that because we had no proper food around, because we thought we'd go to the hotel, so it was a little bit like an adventure, if you want. And in the moment when somebody said, so there's a light, the pilot saw a light which is usually not there, and I thought, okay, then fix it, my friend, and take all the time you need. Rather wait 8 hours than the rest of the world, or my family is waiting for me for all the rest of the time, so that's all good. Training, yes, of course, weather in USA is quite a challenge, yeah. So the rain is never a problem. We are used to that, but the thunderstorms are wow. The lightning is impressive, and so sometimes you have to adapt to the different things. But so far so good. More and more players are coming back, so I'm fine.
I believe Mo Salah's going to play tonight against Man City. How is his injury? Is he fully fit? And psychologically, how is he after the World Cup? A disappointing tournament with Egypt. Does he need a bit of, I don't know, a bit of managing, bit of kind of, just to get him going again after last season, the way it ended?
Not really. Yeah, the World Cup, how you can imagine, was a challenge for him as well. So not only from the sports side, but that's another thing to talk about. Not for me, not today probably. So, but from the injury, he needs to get used to it. That's all. He's fit. He trains completely normal. Maybe he gets a few minutes tonight, and we'll see that. But that's how it is. That's from our medical department, it's 100% sure. It's all good. But of course, if you had the shoulder here and there, you feel it a little bit, and you need to get used to it again. So that's all. But he's fit, and all the training sessions look good. He's now in for 5 days with us. Had before that 1 week training program, full training program at home. Did that, what the test showed, and so yeah, it's all good.
Does he have a difficult challenge this year? 44 goals last season, the expectation is going to be so high. How do people manage that? Because can he do that again, really?
I don't think it's too important to try it, because it happened last year, and if it happens again, it will happen. So because he didn't go in the season and wanted to score 40 goals, so it was that he wanted to score goals, and that's exactly the same aim. And I really think it's important that we, from the club, the fans and all that stuff, that we don't overload the expectations. We have to stay cool. I'm completely cool. If Sadio scores 40 times this year, I have no problem with that, or Bobby or somebody else. I don't care, of course. But in the moment, all is fine, and of course he is. That's what we saw last year. He is a goal scorer, and that's what his main target in the games. So that's good, but there's still things to improve, work on the game, and first of all we need to make sure that he can play his best football, and then he will come in a situation to score. When he's there, then he probably will score again. That's how it is. If it's 40, 20, 30, it's important how many goals we score as a team and not one player. So there are no big expectations from our side, only that we know much more now in that moment than we knew last year. We know about his quality. And of course, we are really happy to have him in the group, but that's how we are happy about all the other boys. So we are really looking forward to the season. We know it will be tough, we know it will be hard work, but that's how it always is, so let's do.
We talk about expectation now. There does seem to be, outside the club, growing expectation on Liverpool to win the Premier League this year, because you've invested well in the squad, but it's been a long time. There seems to be a lot of emotion around Liverpool winning the Premier League or the Champions League. How do you manage the expectation on your players to deliver this season?
Since I'm in, that's always the same actually. I don't think it's a big difference, only that now people maybe they hoped it always that it will happen. Now maybe they believe a little bit more in it, but it doesn't change the situation. Yes, our job is to improve the team every year, to improve the football every year, and if you do that, then the chances become bigger. But but the thing is that the other teams don't sleep. So Man City has still a fantastic team, and United will have again a fantastic team. Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Tottenham's pretty much complete together. Arsenal is, I think they lost Wilshere. That's it. And otherwise, they only brought players in. So strong side. Obviously, Everton is aiming for big things. Wolverhampton can be a surprise. So it's a difficult league. So we don't have to dream too much, and we don't. That the circumstances are good, and that we have a good team, and that people are happy about the team, and that the players we brought in obviously have quality as well. That's all good, but that alone is nothing. We have to use the potential and make quality of it. That's how it is, and that works in different ways. That's on the training pitch, that's in the dressing room, that's on the stands and all that stuff. So it's about us. What do we do with that basis? But nothing is decided now. That means as well that everything is possible, and so let's try and go for everything.
What's your view on trophies? Because Mauricio Pochettino was criticised last year for suggesting that the FA Cup and the League Cup don't really matter. It's the Premier League and the Champions League, whereas Mourinho and Guardiola, they're all important. Liverpool have won one major trophy in 12 years, which is a long time for a club of this size. So is your view any trophy is good, or you'd rather...
It was always like this. Before the season, it's always like this, 100%. Any trophy is good. So whatever you can get after a final, take it. Or after the season, take it. That's 100% like this. But in the season, so many things happen. You cannot, then you have to respect then the different tournaments. And if you have injuries, you cannot, and if you have a lot of games around, you cannot line up the first 11 constantly all 3 days and play in this quarterfinal, this semi-final and stuff like that. So that's the problem, was always the problem. In the first year, we tried to come through with all we have, and we're then in 2 finals at the end. And in the FA Cup, I thought we were in the quarterfinal, and we had to go to the rematch, and there in the extra time. So it was like a crazy tournament, and that's not really smart. We have to play. That's why we have the squad. We have to use the squad, and as long as we can use the squad with all the power of the players, then we are good. In a moment when it starts getting a little bit difficult, it's always in a decisive moment. FA Cup starts in January, then you have still the League Cup around, hopefully still the Champions League, and of course the Premier League. So having in that intense period 4 competitions is really hard. You cannot play with the same 11 constantly. So you have to rotate. That's what we all did. And if you have all of your players together, then it's no problem to rotate. But if you have injuries, then it's not exactly the same quality. The team becomes then younger and younger. That's how it is. And then you lose a game like we did last year. I think we lost against, was it Leicester? I'm not sure. And in the FA Cup, then I forgot it as well. So, but it's too long ago. But that's the thing. You lose then these games, and West Brom, probably one of the few games they won in that period, and that's not cool. But it can happen. But it's not because we don't respect the tournaments. No, it's the other way around. We respect them a lot, but we have to use the play in the most smart way, and that's what we try.
You've made a change in goalkeeper. Alisson's come in, big fee. What made you make that decision? Because you're always very protective of Karius and Mignolet. So why and when did you change your mind that you needed another goalkeeper?
No, that's not like this. We always have to. That's part of the job to try to bring in the best players you can get, and the goalkeeper market is a difficult market. You cannot. It's not each year that there is anybody available and stuff like that. So we didn't know exactly if Alisson is available or not. And from a specific moment on, we realized obviously he is available, and that's what the moment when we decided we want to go for him. But that's nothing we cannot be sure about here in the contract. And Rome could have still said. So I think everybody thinks it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but he could have asked for crazy money. The clause of Oblak, for example, is 100. So nice, and that's it. And that in this year, where obviously a few things happen on the goalkeeper position, you need to be ready for doing things like this. And we were really fine with our goalkeepers. There's no doubt. Simon Mignolet, big quality, absolutely Premier League highest level quality. Loris Karius as well. Yes, we all know what happened in the final, but we know as well why. It's not about that. They are not the reason. So we really wanted to bring in a player which we didn't have before, to be honest. And that's what happened with Alisson. And now he's in. The club gave us the opportunity. That's good. And now we will see.
Karius has had a lot of criticism, social media, just away from the pitch. I mean, He seems to be taking it quite badly. What do you think of the game these days, that so many players and personalities, Ozil's another example, that get so much criticism from outside the game? Are you surprised at how intense it gets?
Look, I think my smartest decision in life was not to use social media. I don't read it. Or if people criticize me on social media, they can write whatever they want. And it never would faze me because I don't know it. And you tell me, but it doesn't. If you tell me, but they write this on social media, but I don't read it, so I don't feel it. So that's the one thing. So I never really thought it's right that if you listen to people, they don't show you their face. So if you want to tell me you're not happy with me, tell me now, but don't go out and write it on your smartphone and put it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. So that, because that will never faze me. So I think about if you tell me now, but if not, then that's not. So that's one thing. So this is the crazy part of the world, obviously, but we all are not really bothered about it as long as we are not involved. So we accept it like that's how the world is now. But the moment when you're in the middle of the storm, then you would think, wow, that's really different to how it was in the good old times. And obviously in their rooms, when they write, they don't care about the person. Not only Loris, about nobody, they don't care. It's like they have a lot of power in that moment and they use it. But power, two things, one who has the power, the other one who feels it then. So, and I really would say, and it's a good idea in life that we really don't get in these things. And maybe, not sure that it will happen, but maybe one time we can start talking again and don't write messages to each other. That's one thing. The other thing is that's absolutely the football is like it is, and Loris is still a really good goalkeeper. I like what the fans in the preseason games did, and they start kind of making noises in the moment when he gets the ball. I never understood people doing that, but if they think it's part of the game, yeah, then do it. So I didn't see that it was bothered about that. The things that happened in the two games, like I think it was Tranmere, that happens to all goalkeepers in the world, and each goalkeeper knows it. It happens. So yeah, but in that moment, was it lucky that it happened? No, but it happened still. It doesn't say anything about you as a goalkeeper. It's a preseason game, and all the players on the pitch made mistakes because we have high intensity training, and he made one. Doesn't say anything about him as a goalkeeper. So, from my point of view, it's all fine. Nothing to do why we signed a new goalkeeper. We could sign Alisson. So that was the opportunity. We took it, and that's it. How it is now.
It's on a similar theme. I don't know if you can speak about this, but Mesut Ozil in Germany, he's announced he's going to not play for Germany again. Similar situation with criticism. Are you surprised at what he's done, or do you think he's made the right decision to come out and fight the criticism?
I read all the things and heard all the things. I really don't think that anybody said the 100% right thing about it. Now I don't have the right thing to say about it. It's a personal decision, and that's that. So first of all, you don't want to play for Germany. Yeah. Then other players did that as well. He had 92 games. So about all the rest, I really don't understand it 100%. Yes, the picture was more than unlucky. That's how it is, 100%. But all the rest is then you can find true things in what he wrote, and you will find a few things there. Obviously, the rest of the world would say, "Nah, that's not exactly like it is." But it's a personal opinion, not more. It's his opinion that it happens like that, and that's why he stepped back. So his decision is absolutely, he has the right to do so. So I have nothing to say about that.
Christian Pulisic is a big name in the States, and obviously the States are trying to rebuild after missing out on the World Cup. How good is he, and can he be the poster boy for the US, and can he be the star that regenerates the team?
I said it already to a US journalist. I think he has all you need for becoming a big player. That's how it is, and he had already a lot of ups and a few downs as well. So that's good for development. If you're still then on the level he is now, that's it. But you don't do him a favor if you talk too much about him. So this country is too big and there are too many players. Yes, if you do these things like Egypt is doing with the Mo Salah and everything, now he is the level and Pulisic is it for them. Come on, let the boys play football. It's only football. And if there come more players like this, then USA has a chance. If Christian Pulisic stays the only one with that quality, then USA has no chance. So it's easy as that. So, and we don't have to talk too much. He's still a very young boy. Let them play football, let them develop, and don't make the big stories of it until he say he's good, because he's very good, that's true, but don't make him responsible for US football, because nobody can do that job.